Now you can read that for yourself. I'm going to skip down to verse 7, chapter 21:7. And God was displeased with this thing, therefore he smote Israel. Stepped out of your bounds. You got out of your lane. That's what pride does. Satan got to David. He came uplifted in pride and claimed the people as his. He played God. That's God's territory. Only God was the number of those people and knew the number. He wouldn't take no census of the people. That's how you get in trouble with God. Like I said, get to teaching presumption. God hates. You go into God territory. Wanting to play God. That's how we got in this fallen state in the first place. Our forefathers, Adam and Eve, wanted to play God. And went past their boundaries. Follow the fallen one himself say. You see, he's a loser. All those that follow him are losers. The script's already written for him and his boys. The lake of fire. That's where he's going. Read about in Revelation, I think it's Revelations 20 and 19, where he gets the boot into the lake of fire. That's the ultimate destination. So he want to take as many with him as he can and get many in the crosshairs of God as he can. And his tactics ain't changed. Coming with subtlety, coming with craftiness, coming with to beguile you, to lie, deception. A lot of people following him that sold their soul to the devil, especially those in Hollywood, going to have a rude awakening when they get to the real hell and lake of fire, where you roasting 24/7 throughout eternity. No breaks, no breaks, no breaks, no breaks. What shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Mark 8:36. Pride. That's how Satan gets a lot of people. They want to play God. And when you become rich and powerful and famous, that makes, usually pride goes with that. You think your crap don't sting anymore. Yeah, moving on. Let's look at another prideful guy Satan got it. We just read about David. David fell. After that, God punished him. Now we're going to read Daniel 4:29 through 33. Read about another king. David was a king too. This king here was a king of the whole world. He was ruling the whole world. And God gave him the kingdom. God sets up kingdoms and kingdoms. I give my teaching on that. I'm taught on that already. God's despots. Get that video. God's despots. Where God sets these despots up. He's ruling the kingdom of men. The little g answers to him too as well. God sets these people up. That's what he told Nebuchadnezzar. About to read it, brother. Daniel 4:29-33. And he became uplifted in pride. He stepped out of his box. God had him. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom. It's Nebuchadnezzar. He walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. Babylon ruled the whole world at this time. The whole then world. Nebuchadnezzar was over the world. Babylon was one of the most beautiful kingdoms as far as beauty was concerned. It was a gold kingdom. Everything was gold. Hanging gardens of Babylon. Beautiful. At the end of 12 months, he walked in the palace of the kingdom of Babylon. The king spake and said, Is not this great Babylon that I have built, that I have built for the house of the kingdom by my might? There we go. I call it the I factor, my factor, I factor. Let's read that again slow. Ain't that what the rich and powerful say today? Ain't that what they doing? I got this. I worked for this. I built this. The rich and elite men saying today, I got this by my own hand. My own. I built this empire with my own gray matter. Don't give God the glory. Don't give God the credit for the ability to get the wealth. This king forgot too. And now, God had already sent Daniel in and warned him about his pride. And he didn't listen. As most despots don't. The king spake and said, Is not this the great Babylon that I have built for the house of the kingdom by the might of my power and for the honor of my majesty? While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven, saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee. God judged him right then and there. And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass. See what pride gets you? He's in a fallen state. God gonna turn him into a beast with long claws and woolly hair, and throw him out in the field grazing with the rest of the oxen and the cattle for 7 years. And they shall make, and that's a fact of history. That's in the annals. God's word is fact, not fiction. I'm in the business of proving God's word is fact through archaeology, science, history, paleontology. God said. That's what Brother Jay's in the business been doing it for years now. Especially through God's archaeologists like Ron White and people like that. God said. Science, geneticists, doesn't matter. Physiology. God's been proven time and time again through science and history and archaeology, paleontology. That's why you have that Jezebel church in Rome that's been trying to cover up the discoveries and artifacts that prove God's word right over and over again, and bury that knowledge, because people would have faith in God if they had proof. So they try to cover up the proof. That's another topic. Let me go there. I just have to keep myself focused here. Being straight and ran away. And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling place shall be with the beasts of the field. They shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and 7 times shall pass over thee 7 years, until I know that the Most High, who? Until I know that the Most High, who? Until I know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. Pay attention, you rich and powerful that's watching this, and I'm sure I have some of them. Who rules this earth? And you'll find out in the end. The lake of fire and hell gonna make a lot of believers out of people. It's too late then. Try to get it right before you get out of here. Who rules this earth? You better humble yourself. Until I know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So just said that. God's despots get the big. God's the big boss. He's the big G. He's running this. Even the little g, the little wannabe G answers to him. Say, lowercase g. God's the capital G. Now, moving on. Let's go read about Satan himself. The fallen. Well, how was he thinking before he fell? Now, Satan was the most beautiful angel ever created. I mean, he had jewelry. He was a jewelry encrusted angel. He was an angel that blinged. It was a bling angel with diamonds and rubies, topaz, sardonyx. I mean, he had all the precious stones in him. Onyx. Beautiful angel. He blinged. And he happened to look in the crystal sea and see how beautiful he was, how beautiful I am, and became uplifted in pride. All right, Isaiah 14:12. He said, I should be running this. Old man slipping, talking about creating an amphibious, half beast, half celestial fire being called man. Slipping. It's time for me to take over. I should be running this. What about me? Satan was here on this earth before Adam was created. in Eden. Eden was here. Jeremiah 4 talks about it. Proverbs 14:12. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground? That's what happens with pride. You fall. We're seeing that over and over again. Which didst weaken the nations. For thou hast said in thine heart. Where did he say it? This is where sin starts. Started with him, right here. I said, started out saying Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Pride starts here. You become uplifted here. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I. I call it the I factor. It's pride. I. You got a lot of Christians, I could tell right away when they baptized. Because all they focus on is me and I. Me, I, me, I. You come around me with using that vocabulary, I just put you right in my babe-tard fire as a Christian. Because that's what babies, the babies are self-centered. They're spiritual flatheads. There's Freud, I like to call him Freud, Sigmund Freud. Said babies are flatheads. They're just all on one adulterated ego. The whole world centered around them. Me. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit up on the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like unto the Most High. And he ain't know anything higher than the Most High. So he said, I'll be like unto him. Could imagine anything. He created you. How you can whoop your creator? I mean, that's pride for you. Pride to have you. It's like a guy that's puny and drinking in a bar and goes pick a fight with a big buff bouncer. Pride and ego is involved. And the guy gets beat down to the ground. But it's pride and ego. That's Satan. How you gonna whoop your creator? One who spoke you in existence. God could have spit and turned him into a blob. But he didn't. He let him do his thing. Gave him a chance to play God. That's what he's doing now. But the Bible even calls him the little G, the little God of this world. In Corinthians. I think it's 2 Corinthians 4:4 or something. He's called the God of this world. You let it give him a chance to play. He got an end. He knows. He knows time's almost up for him and his boys. He's trying to get as many, including you and I, in the hell as possible. That's his mission. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Look at the nations. Whole nations following the serpent. Whole nations occult. All these nation leaders, pretty much. Ain't following God and Christ, following Satan, the serpent. Sold their souls for riches and power in this life. And then you got families, generations that rule this earth. I think it's like 13 of them, last count. The serpent seed that sold out to the serpent, Satan, for a generation of money, power, and fame. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above God, the stars of God. I will sit also on the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? And then a little, is this the being, not man? Is this the being? It's not a man. That did make the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms. Oh yeah, he's going to be brought down low. And the whole world gonna see it. And all the kings are gonna say, oh, you fooled us. We thought you had all this power. We thought you promised us you was gonna overthrow God. Just like his boys found out that followed him, the third, he fooled them. And now their eternal fate is sealed with him. Got the boot out of heaven. And he's fooling these kings. Same way he fooled them angels that was in heaven. That made him think he got a chance to overthrow the Creator. God still got 2/3 of the angels. And some of them angels are some pretty ruthless angels. One angel gonna handle Satan by himself. Gonna chain him up in Revelations. You know, give my teaching on the apocalypse. One angel. Michael the archangel can handle Satan by himself. So how you gonna go against God and Christ and the Holy Spirit that created you? And you can't handle one angel. One angel killed 180,000 of Sennacherib's army. It's one angel in the Bible. And God got millions of angels. I think it was 700 million that he talked about was coming with him behind Christ, if I'm not mistaken. 700 million angels. Just one angel will do the job. You don't need. And you got warlike angels that could just take out this one whole continent by themselves. This is why I taught on angels. Get to teaching on angels. You did a lot of teaching on that. The angel of the Lord encamping. I taught on Michael the archangel. Get to the teaching. I'm not going to go there. I'm about to stray again. Back to pride. It started with I. He's the father of I. Me. That's how you know you slipped. Better to say we and they. Put that more in your vocabulary. Us. Better try to change up those personal pronouns. Now that's the father of pride, say. Now Proverbs 16:18 says, this is our last verse. We're going to end this on. I think it's fit. Now we understand that Satan's the father of pride. He's the author of it. All those that follow him are going to end up in the same state he ended up in, falling. Because he's falling. All right, Proverbs 16:10. I think it was 16:18. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit cometh before a fall. Now remember, one of our words for pride that we started out with was hyperethenia, which means haughty. We had hyperphenia, typho, which is to be consumed with smoke. Hyperphenia is haughty, to inflate oneself, be lifted up in pride. And alzania is braggadocious pride, self-confidence. I can do anything. I did this. That's what he was. Nebuchadnezzar was braggadocious. He was a alonzania, pride. Okay, so we learned a lot about pride. Pride going before destruction, and all the spirit coming before the fall. Remember this teaching, Satan, the father of pride, the fallen one. This is a very important lesson, because pride puts a wall between you and God, and it will consume you and have you halfway in hell before you get there in this life. If you stay in that state, you pretty much seal your own fate by walling God away with your pride. God can deal with any sin but pride. Pride puts up a wall between you and him. Scales. It's hard to penetrate. And God have to break you down drastically just to get your attention if you go too far out there, if there's hope for you. Now there's people that he overpowered that was prideful in the Bible and broke them down and they got it right. Some like Saul didn't get it. He ended up in hell, bro, because he didn't get it. But David got it. God broke him down. God broke Paul down in the New Testament. Prideful Pharisee. So humble yourself to God. God resists the proud, give grace to the humble. And I'm not talking about man, I'm talking about God, between you and God. All right. I'm the one that taught you to give. Don't be prideful and rob God. He said, this is my money. You're but teaching on Nabal. It's mine. Another prideful guy in the Bible. If God gifted you, and I'm the one that taught you, Galatians 6:6 says, yo, that's tithes, first fruit, alabaster box. Go to streetpriestministry.org, hit the donate button. All right, good day, good evening, good night to you around the world. May you grow in faith in Jesus' name.